Good evening. It's Wednesday night and time for another Facebook Live. So this week I've been showing you cards I made with this Banner Year stamp set. Let me pull that out so you can see. It's got things for all year long. And so I showed you a Halloween, a fall, Christmas, and Valentine's. And I told you all to vote and tell me which one you liked the best. So these two tied. So I'm going to make both of them tonight for you. So this was the fall one and the Christmas one. And the stamp set is bundled with a punch. And I forget the name of these. Oh, you can't see very well that way. You'll see what it looks like. There, that's not too bad. Because I'm going to use it on both cards. But this is a great, you can make banner ends, you can make the other end. It's really a nice punch. And when you bundle them together right now, then you get to save 10%. So let's get started. We'll start with our fall card. And as always, I will post the dimensions on my blog, probably tonight. I didn't get a chance to get that ready. I have a card class tomorrow night. So that I've been working on getting ready for that. So I've got thick, very vanilla for my card base. And then I'm also using Cajun Craze, soft suede, and crumb cake. But we're going to start with the crumb cake, and we're going to do our stamping first. And I'm going to go ahead and put some scratch paper underneath of it. So I'm going to start with my squirrel. Let me find, there he is. And I did him with crumb cake, on crumb cake. And I just stamped him all over. And I can't remember if I stamped. I don't think I stamped off. I think I just stamped him full strength. Sometimes I can't remember. And you want to just turn him different ways. And you want to try and get him stamped fully. Those last ones I didn't stamp very well. That's all right. He's a disappearing squirrel. All right. Maybe one more. No, maybe not. Maybe not anymore. All right, and then I took the acorn and my soft suede. And I stamped the acorn everywhere. Again, changing directions. You always want to be sure you go off the edge of the paper a little bit. That just makes it look better. Oh, I don't want to do too many because I want to leave. Hey, buddy. Welcome. This way. All right, we'll stop there. All right. So, Betty, what I said at the beginning was I had one vote for the fall card and one vote for the Christmas card, so I'm showing you them both tonight. And so far we've got crumb cake, and we've stamped our squirrel in crumb cake and our acorn in soft suede. And now we're going to stamp our leaf. Oh, I forgot to stamp an extra acorn. That's right, we'll go back and do that. Our leaf in Cajun Craze. And I'm just going to kind of fill in with this, and then if I decide I need to go back with something else, I can. But this is looking pretty good, I think. There we go. All right, before I clean this off, though, so you can see I had some little extras here on the tag. So for that, I'm just going to stamp a couple more leaves in the Cajun Craze. And then the acorn. Let me get rid of my Cajun Craze. I'm done with it. And I need to stamp one more acorn in soft suede. And there aren't any dies with these, so I will just have to fussy cut them. And then the other thing, I'm going to clean this off, otherwise I'll get Cajun Craze all over my hands. because my sentiment is on the other side of it. All right, so I'm going to do, this is with a grateful heart, and I'm just going to do it on the other end of this strip of Very Vanilla. Well, that wasn't very nice, was it? I wonder if it's not. Oh, that works. Okay, let's try this again. This is why you have two sides to every paper. Oh, that's much better. Okay. Get our stamps out of the way. And our ink. We're done with our ink. All right, now I'm just going to get my little snips. And first I'm just going to cut off the end of this. And then I'm just going to fussy cut these. So when you're fussy cutting, I'm sure I've told you this before, move your paper, not your scissors. Sorry, I'm trying to see over the camera and still keep it where you can see it. And then if it gets kind of hard to manage, you can just cut off that extra. Oops, got a little close on that one. You want to try and leave a little bit of a edge around it, because then your eyes just see the stamped image and they don't notice if the cutting is not completely straight. So you always want to leave a little bit of area around it. All right, so one leaf. I don't know what kind of leaves these are supposed to be. Just fall leaves. I don't know. That other set that we've used, the Beautiful Autumn, those leaves look like oak leaves or maple leaves to me. This one is just a generic leaf. So I don't know what it is. Whoop. Okay. So obviously I'm not doing very good cutting around that one corner. So I did the same thing. All right, and now our little acorn. We'll cut him out. See if I can do better with him. All right, so now we have two leaves and an acorn. Let's get this out of the way. Actually, we're done with this for now. And now we're going to take our punch and we're going to punch the end of this sentiment. So we want it to be this banner end, and I like to, I didn't bring a sticky note. I'm going to have to get a Post-it. One moment, please. So I found that these skinny Post-its are perfect for this, because I can't hold on to this once I send it all the way down in the machine, in the punch. So I'm going to slide it in, and then I like to turn it over and look at it and make sure it looks like it's even, and that does, and straight. So there you go. Isn't that easy? Quick and easy way to get those banner ends. And it's, I think, if I remember right, it's 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1/2 inch are the three measurements that you can use there. All right, so now we're ready to put this together. Set those aside for a moment. I'm going to take my crumb cake that we stamped and put it on the soft suede. So let me get my Stampin' Seal. Make sure I'm staying where you can see me. Whoop. get that. Got some sticky on my finger. Get that off before I get it everywhere. So we're gonna put this on our soft suede. So it's just got a narrow border. And then before we put that on our card base, we're gonna try this braided trim. I didn't bring the spool over, but it's something braided trim, I believe. We're just gonna tie it in a knot because Betty and I don't like doing bows. So tie that, and then I'm gonna trim those ends just a little bit so they're not quite so long. And then I frayed the ends a little bit. So you just kind of pull it apart just to give it more texture. So I do that with both ends. That's the nice thing about braided trim like this, is that you can kind of fray it. All right, and now we're ready to put this on our Cajun Craze. So that's going to have a little bit bigger border. Am I staying down? Okay. I'll put that in the middle of that. And then we'll put this, lots of layers on this card. We'll put this on our vanilla card base. Just kind of line that up. Okay, now we're going to take our, whoops, still got a little sticky on my finger, our liquid glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the back side. So I'm going to just kind of build up my leaf here, or my sentiment, so just a little bit. Put one leaf there, a little bit more. One leaf there, and then the acorn, some more glue, and just put it over those stems like that. And he kind of sticks up just because the stems of the leaves are there. And then I took mini dimensionals on this one. Hopefully we didn't glue that to our table, because it's narrower and I want it to fit over that ribbon. So I'm just going to put 4 mini dimensionals. Whoops, come back here. On here. And we'll put that over the ribbon. And there you go. So there's our fall card. I love these colors together too. All right. And what I'm going to do is, since I'm making 2 cards, I'm going to draw 2 names. So somebody will get the fall card and somebody will get the Christmas card from tonight's video. So be sure you comment. Hopefully I'll remember to do it by Friday night. Okay, now we're ready for our Christmas card. So this is some of the plaid, I think it's Plaid Tidings is the name of the paper. This paper is gorgeous, and it's got all sorts of different colors. Oh, and I just realized I forgot the little stamp. I need to get that stamp set. Okay, so what I have, and again, I'll put all these measurements on my blog, is I have a piece of 2x4 piece of Whisper White. And I'm going to try it a little different this time. So I looked at the colors that were in the paper, and they were Shaded Spruce and Pretty Peacock. But when I looked at this, I'm like, well, I don't see a lot of difference. That's the Pretty Peacock, and that's the Shaded Spruce. But they're both kind of dark. So I'm going to try on this one. I'm going to stamp off the Shaded Spruce and see if we like that better. If I can remember to stamp off. So we're just going to take our leaves. Whoops. Get it all the way inked up. Stamp off. That'll give it a little bit more difference between the two. So I'm just going to stamp these all over. Whoops. All right, what are the chances? Okay, so that one's got a shadow. This way maybe. And then we're going to come back with the other one. All right, so let me clean that. And we'll come back with the Pretty Peacock. Ooh, still got a mess on the block. Let's see if we can clean that off a little bit. Certainly don't want that to be making a mess on our card. All right. I think I used this one. Okay, now we've got our Pretty Peacock. See if I can do a better job stamping these ones. And we'll just put those. Oh yeah, I like that better. There's a little more difference in them. I like that much better. Yep, I like that. Okay. And then clean that off so I don't make a mess everywhere. And then it's got these little berries. So I'm going to take Cherry Cobbler. And I'm just going to put little berries. And I'm going to be careful with this so I don't get ink all over my block and make a mess. Just where those two leaves come together. So some of them will be mostly off. I don't think I can even put any there. Let's see. Yeah, one little one. All right. And then I have somewhere, here it is. I have the Be Merry. And we're going to do that. I'm just cleaning off my blocks. With the Pretty Peacock, and I just have a little strip of the Seaside Spray. So our card base is Seaside Spray. And I'm going to stamp this in the middle, hopefully straight. Nope. Try again. And you know I send you all the best of the cards, so if I mess it up online, I send you the good one. That's just hard to see. Oh, I know. Here. This might help. Because then I can see where it ends, maybe? We'll see. See if that makes it better. Yeah, it's better. Not perfect, but better. All right, and then I forgot. So I really loved this plaid. And I loved that Seaside Spray, and I thought, well, that's kind of fun to have the red and the green with it. But then when I stamped this, I thought, well, it doesn't really tie into the Seaside Spray. So I wanted to do something to kind of get it to tie in. So hang on, I forgot I needed to grab this stamp. This is the Forever Fern stamp. Has this lovely little spot. So that's what we're going to use. So we're going to take this little spot and I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to take Seaside Spray, and I'm just going to put some little spots, and I think I stamped off. Let's see. Yeah, I think I stamped off, and I'm just going to put little Seaside Spray dots in here. Just kind of tie in that color in the plaid and our card base. And it doesn't matter if you stamp over the, oh, I almost forgot to stamp that one off. All right, I want a little bit right there. Okay, perfect. All right, so that's all our stamping. And so now what we're going to do with this is I have my trimmer. So if you remember, this was 2 by 4. So I'm just going to cut it in half into 2 1-inch strips. You want to kind of hold on to it because it's... And then you want to try and keep them kind of oriented that way so you know how to put them back together. Because now we're going to punch the ends. So this is the 1-inch, and I'm just going to slide it in there all the way. Punch the end, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Slide it in all the way, punch the end. And then we're going to take our sentiment, set those aside. I don't know what I did with that other one. Oh, here it is. We're going to put this in the banner end first. And the other thing, nice thing about turning it over to take a look is that you can make sure you're not going to cut off part of your sentiment. And when you feel you have it good, pinch it. Ooh, that was close, wasn't it? And then we're going to use the other end. Do the same thing. Slide it in there, make sure it's straight, which this is not. Come on. Sometimes your Post-it is a little bit too much help. There we go. So now you have that nice, you've punched it on both ends. All right, so now we're ready to put this together. So I am going to put this on my card base. You can see there's another one of those pretty plaids. That's like a gray and red and a little bit of orange, I think. And the paper pack, I don't have it right over here with me, has all the colors listed that are in the paper. And there's quite a few for this one. If you saw the Valentine one I did, it has some pinks and purples in it. All right. So let's put this together. So I'm just going to kind of lay it on there, make sure I know about where I want them to go. And if you leave them so that they're situated the way you stamped them, then they kind of continue across. So let's put some seal on this one. Put it over here on this side. And then some seal on this one. All right, and then I took some ribbon. So I wanted to pull in that Seaside Spray again. So this is the Seaside Spray something ribbon, I don't remember the name. And then this is that polka dot tool, which I love. And I just layered them. So I put the Seaside spray on top. And I'm just going to wrap it around the top of this. This will be a trick to see if I can tie this on camera with 2 ribbons. Make sure that one's laying on top. Okay. And again, I'm just going to tie these in a knot. And so when you're tying a knot, I don't know if I've told you this before or not, but you're going to make sure you use the same end to go over. So in this case, I'm doing the left end is going over the right end. So now that end is on my right, so I'm going to make sure I put it over my left end. So it's like left over right, right over left is what I do. You can do it either way as long as you're using the same end both times to go over. Okay, this is going to be a challenge to do on camera, of course. Come on. There we go. There. Isn't that fun? I just liked the 2 of those together. And then you can slide it up a little bit, so it's more towards the top. And then if you want to trim it, you can. And then I put this up on dimensionals. So now we can use our regular size dimensionals. All right, and this is going to go on here. And it should line up with that plaid, and you want to leave a little bit to the left of that pretty plaid. And then what I did with this is I put a dimensional on one end. I think a regular size will fit. And then I just put a little bit of the liquid glue on the other end, because it's going to rest on your stamped piece. But you need a dimensional on the other end so it'll be up the same height. And you just set that, where do I want it? Maybe like right there. All right, and there you go. There's the Christmas one. So like I said, I'll draw one name for the Christmas one and one name for the fall one. So there's our Christmas and here's our fall. So somebody will get a fall one and somebody will get a Christmas one. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you again next Wednesday. Bye.